Hey there, nation, and welcome to the show where we help you to play miniatures wargaming on a budget. It is I, Commander Cheapskate, and we are back with our very last episode of From Hell, our series that was dedicated to Reign in Hell battle reports. And this is battle report number 9 of our Reign in Hell campaign. It is a King of the Hill scenario that is fought between Demented, judges, as well as brokers. My friend Darklord Mac is bringing the Garden of Maladies, his Demented Cabal. Smells Like Her Breeze is bringing the Verdant Tribunal, her judges cabal. And of course, I will be bringing the Ethereal Bank of Vykos of the brokers cabal. So what ends up happening on this one, this is our very last scenario of our Reign in Hell campaign. Pretty much you've gone through pretty much all of the different scenarios in the rulebook. We've actually made cabals, had them fighting out, and we're going to finish up our campaign, our introductory campaign anyways, with this battle report number 9. So with that being said, we're going to play some background music real quick. As the music is playing, we will show you photos of all 3 cabals as well as their rosters. If you want to see exactly what they're bringing for this one, go ahead and pause and take a look at your own leisure. So that being said, let's get this battle report on a roll. Alright, so the scenario rules for this one is called King of the Hill. Their terrain, there's actually one large piece of terrain that's in the center of the battlefield, and this is primarily the objective. Players will deploy in the corners of the battlefield in a 6-inch by 6-inch deployment zone, and the condition is that the battle lasts about 5 turns, and the winner is the cabal with the most models on the center of the terrain piece when the game ends. If the players retreat, they end up losing the scenario. Now for the rewards on this one, we have a title called King of the Hill. If a single demon occupies a terrain piece for all 5 rounds and is not slain, they gain the King of the Hill title. This demon adds +1 additional dice to their combat defense rolls whenever they are on or within a terrain of any kind. So with the scenario rules over, let's go and talk about deployment as well as battle plans. Alright, so here's the order to shot the entirety of the battlefield. As you can see, we are playing on a Warcried mat. I am deploying in the top left-hand corner. My friend Smells Like Her Breeze is deploying in the bottom left-hand corner, and my friend Darklord Mac is deployed on the right-hand corner. So this is a 3-way battle, and we'll be fighting over the objective of that giant king in yellow statue that's in the middle of the battlefield, and that is the objective we'll try to swarm and also protect. Now, for my pretty much my battle plan on this one, I'm pretty much going to try to play this one kind of defensively. I do have 2 corpulent demons that I could use to soak up wounds in order to secure that objective, but at the same time though, I do have my work cut out for me. The reason why is because I'm really worried about Smells Like Her Breeze. Her cabal, the Verdant Tribunal, is a very quick offensive cabal as well, and they actually can bring the pain. So they're the biggest threat that I can see on here. So because I'm going to be focusing most of my efforts to try to destroy her forces right off the bat, because she could just destroy entire cabals with the offensive capability of her Verdant Tribunal. Now once that's done, of course, my next plan, of course, is then just to focus all my attention upon my opponent's corpulent demons, hopefully kill those guys so that way I can secure the objective for myself as well. That's pretty much how my battle plan is going for this one. Now, as for my friends Darklord Mac as well as Smells Like Her Breeze, after the battle report, I talked to my friends Smells Like Her Breeze and Darklord Mac to talk about what their battle plans were. Smells Like Her Breeze, her plan is to actually just go on the offensive. Her plan is actually to just focus entirely on my warband, and the reason why is because she sees my broker's warband as being kind of soft. So her idea is that if she can quickly eliminate me, then I'll be ceased to be less of a threat, and then she can focus all of her attention on taking on the Demented warband. As for my friend Darklord Mac, his plan is just to swarm the King in the Yellow statue, play defensively the entire time, use his corpulent demons to secure the objective, and use his leader as well as his Madness demon in order to pretty much defend the flanks. And that's pretty much the battle plans for this one. Alright, so let's talk about deployment real quick for the Ethereal Bank of Vykos, my broker's cabal. On the left-hand side, that is Duke Grimwatch. He's my leader demon. He's got Rich in Soul, Master Manipulator, Unyielding Essence, Regenerating Soul, as well as Infernal Armor, as well as an Eternal Essence of Life. Right next on the right-hand side, that is my Tallyman. That is Cracked Marrow. He's got the Balance, the Scales, Tax, and Armor 42 special rules. On the bottom row there, starting on the left-hand side, that is Gristelville. He is my Slaughter Fiend. He's got Paragon of Slaughter as well as a Lucky Charm. Right next on the right-hand side is the Royal Butcher, who's my Tentacle Beast. Right next on the right-hand side, that is Balefire. He's a Corpulent Demon with Pile of Flesh as well as Bracers of Unparalleled Defense. Right next on the right-hand side, that is Knight's Herald, which is another Armored Demon. He's got Scaly Skin as well as the Bloodstained Gauntlet. Behind them is the Duke's Harriers, which is a Mephet. On the upper right hand side, that is Valrique, my Spine Demon. She's got Impaling Charge as well as Lucky Charm as well as Essence of the Ram. And then right beneath here is Master Talent. He's a Corpulent Demon with Pile of Flesh. So in the bottom right hand corner we have the Garden of Maladies, which is my friend Dark Lord Mac's Demented Warband. Starting on the top right hand side, that is Madness is his name, the Beast Slayer. He's a devout demon, he's a madness demon with Infected with Madness, Disorder, as well as Beast Slayer, as well as the Bloodstained Gauntlet. Next on the left hand side, that is the leader demon, that is Garden of Malady. He's got Maddening Insight, he's also got a Zealot, Frenzy, Regenerating Soul, Infernal Armor, and Reliquary special rules. Right in front of them are 4 corpulent demons. Those are Golkor, Gurlock, Muttermold, as well as Slimex the Pacifist. And finally, up in the front here, we got 2 Mephetes. We have Inglorious the Stormbreaker, as well as Degenerate. And lastly, in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the Verdant Tribunal, which is the Judges Cabal, played by our friend Smells Like Febreze. Up in the top left there, we have Durthu, the End of Faith. He is a devout demon. He's a greater executioner. He's got Off with Their Head, as well as Justice game mechanic. He's got the Essence of Luck, as well as End of Faith title. Right behind him, that is to the right. I'm sorry, that is Dryka, the Regent Slayer. She is a lesser leader demon. She's got Breaking the Rules, as well as Warrior, Combat Master, Steadfast Soul, Hammer of Thunder, and Regent Slayer title as well. Behind her, she's got her 3 tentacle beasts, with us Willow, Ash, and Birch. And then behind them on the left-hand side, we have our 2 Slaughter Fiends. We have Treekin with the yellow cloak. She's got the Paragon of Slaughter rule. And then right next door on the right-hand side, we have Kurnoth, who is a Spine Demon, who's got the Impaling Charge. And then, of course, right in the middle, we have Spite the Stormbringer, which is their Mephette. And that pretty much makes the deployment for the Verdant Judges. So with the deployment over with, we go directly to the top of turn number 1, and my friends and I roll off our activation dice to see which of us will be going first. Alright, so that takes directly to the top of turn number 1, and these are the activation dice for the Demented Judges as well as the Brokers. So if you want to see exactly what we did there, you could pause and take a look there. So right off the bat, the first thing that my friend, of course, the first thing I started doing is I started setting up some of my demons in order to secure the ejector marker. The first thing I sent up real quick are the Duke's Harriers to end up being there first. I then sent my 2 Corpulent demons, Balefire, as well as Master Talon, as well as my Spine Demon, Knight's Herald, so that way the 3 of them could hold down that ejector marker. At the same time, I also sent in Valrique as well. Unfortunately for me, though, I did not make the charging attack on that one. It wasn't within range, so all she could really do is just move her up forward. That was all the most I could do. However, what my opponent decided to do, though, is to strike back. I'm sorry, not Valrique. I'm sorry, my Tentacle Beast, Royal Butcher. I'm sorry, I do apologize for that one. Now, of course, my friend Smells Like Febreze goes next. She sends up Dryka, or her leader, which is basically the Regent Slayer. And of course, she uses a charging attack using her Thunderhammer directly onto my Tentacle Beast. Managed to almost kill that guy. I think he's only actually puts 8 wounds directly onto him. But because she rolled a 6 using her combat abilities, that hammer goes off and manages to put 2 more wounds on Balefire as well as Night Herald as well. She then also brings up Durthu's support in order to back up her play. Meanwhile, Dark Lord Mac activates one of his Mephetes. I believe that is Degenerate, who ends up going to the base of the King in Yellow. Valrique then charges forward with her charging their Essence of the Ram attack, going directly into Dryka. Managed to put 4 wounds onto that leader demon, so that part was kind of cool. I then send in Grisaville, my Slaughter Fiend, as well, who also managed to bring up Dryka's wounds up to 8 wounds, which is absolutely fantastic as well. Meanwhile, for Dark Lord Mac, he sends up his second Mephete, which is Inglorious the Stormbreaker, as well as his Corpulent Demons, heading directly towards the King in Yellow. Smells Like Febreze then activates one of her Tentacle Demons, who does I believe she just moves up her max movement allowance, so that way she can lend her -1 combat ability with her Grasping Arms, so that way she doesn't worry about counterattacks too badly for her leader. And for my next activation, I then charge in my leader. Duke Grimoire does a charging attack directly into Dryka, managed to bring her grand total up to 9 wounds, so he didn't do very well whatsoever, so that part was kind of tragic. Meanwhile, Dark Lord Mac's several activations, he sends up the rest of his Corpulent Demons, having them move as quick as they can directly towards the objective in the middle of the table. And this photo is after actually several activations taking place in the battlefield. As you can see, my opponent moves up her Slaughter Fiend, as well as her Spine Demon, as well as her Mephete, and last 2 remaining Tentacle Beasts over time. And I do exactly the same thing, activating Crackmarrow, my Tallyman, who was up his maximum allowance in order to get into the fray as well. And lastly, Dark Lord then activates his leader, Garden of Maladies, as well as Devout Demon Manus is his name, the Beast Slayer, who also moves up in order to support the flanks of his advance forward. And as you can see, that takes directly the end of turn number 1. As you can see, I'm trying to take the offensive here, trying to go directly against the Verdant Judges. And the Verdant Judges are doing exactly the same thing, except the Verdant Judges are doing a better job of putting wounds directly on my troops. Now, luckily for me, though, I was able to put a bunch of wounds directly onto Dryka, but hopefully I can kill her before she causes too much damage. And of course, I also got to worry about Durthu, the Executioner, the End of Faith, because that guy is a beast, and that's really a bad spot for my my Tallyman Crackmire to be in, because Durthu's designed to kill him, because he's really good at slaying devout demons. So with that being said, here's the end of turn number 1. With that, we go directly to the top of turn number 2, and we roll activation dice to see which of us will be going first. Alright, so that takes directly to the top of turn number 2, and this is the activation dice for all the different warbands, for Demented Judges as well as for Brokers. So you can take a look there. So the first thing I do, of course, is I do 2 activations. I activate my Slaughter Fiend, as well as my leader, Duke Grimwatch. I do focus combat for both those, and put both my attacks directly into Dryka, and manage killing off that leader. So that part was all kinds of epic. For my next activation, I then send in Valrique with a charging attack directly into Durthu. My Spine Demon uses her Essence of the Ram ability to manage to put 4 wounds directly onto Durthu, so that part was pretty nice. Meanwhile, for Dark Lord Max's next activation, he sends up his Corpulent Demons as well as Mephet in order to secure the King in Yellow statue, so right now he has the most demons directly onto the objective marker. So this photo is actually several activations taking place one after the other one. The first thing I do is I send in Royal Butcher, my Tentacle Beast, directly into Durthu in a vain attempt to try to stop his advance whatsoever. Unfortunately for me, though, I flipped my roll, so I did nothing to Durthu. So because of that, my friend Smells Like Febreze activates Treekin, her Slaughter Fiend, does a charge attack directly into Royal Butcher, managed to finish off my Tentacle Demon, so that part was kind of sad. So because of that, my Tentacle Demon gets killed, and he will need to roll up on the Soul Loss table to see exactly what happens to him. Meanwhile, in the objective of the center of the table, I do send in Balefire, or Master Talon rather, in order to start putting some support for my Mephet there in order to gain up some more points on taking the terrain piece. Meanwhile, Dark Lord Mac, of course, sends up his Corpulent Demons, stumbling forward as quick as they can in order to secure the terrain piece as well. Smells Like Febreze then goes next, does a charging attack with their Spine Beast, Kurnoth, who does a charging attack directly into Gristleville. Managed to put 4 wounds directly onto my Slaughter Fiend, so that part was kind of sad. I then activate Balefire. It does move up forward, ready to secure the objective marker, so now I have 3 demons holding that terrain piece. For Dark Lord Mac's next activation, he then activates his leader, Garden of Maladies. He does a charging attack directly into Spite, the Stormbreaker, which is the Mephet for the Verdant Judges, and managed to kill that character right off the bat. So just like that, she will need to roll up on the Soul Loss table to see exactly what happens to her, and actually wins their very first kill for the Garden of Maladies. So, Smells Like Febreze goes next. She then activates Durthu, her leader, her Devout Demon, and he goes a charging attack directly into Crackmire, my Tallyman, and puts 10 wounds directly onto my Tallyman, which is absolutely horrific. He only has 3 wounds left before he's killed. And the reason why is because Durthu gets bonuses for fighting against other fellow Devout Demons with his End of Faith title, so that part was absolutely devastating. Really, really underestimate the killing power of the Executioner at this point. So with that, I go back to Dark Lord Mac, and then activates a few more of his Corpulent Demons and move up directly towards the King in Yellow statue. For my next activation, activate Crackmarrow. He does a running skirmish, trying to attack Durthu and then bouncing back his maximum movement allowance to get out of harm's way. Unfortunately for me, though, my Tallyman does nothing against Durthu, but I do manage to get away a little bit, so that part's kind of nice. Meanwhile, this photo is taking place after several activations. What ends up happening is that one of the Tentacle Beasts charged directly into Gristleville, tries to put wounds on him, but unfortunately fails to do so. I then activate my Knight's Herald, my Armor Demon, who goes charged directly into the back of that Tentacle Beast. Managed to put 2 wounds on that character, so that part's kind of cool. And then Smells Like Febreze activates her last 2 Tentacle Beasts who go charging directly into Duke's Harriers as well as Balefire. Managed to put 2 wounds on Balefire. I think it was 3 wounds. No, sorry, not 3 wounds. Yeah, it was actually 2 wounds. 2 wounds back on the Duke's Harriers as well. And that pretty much ends turn number 2 for this one. So here's an overview shot of the entirety of the battlefield at the end of turn number 2. As you can see, I managed to secure, each of us have managed to secure 1 soul dice at least. I have managed to secure 2 so far, so that part was kind of nice. However, as you can see in this photo, though, I'm starting to take a beating. I'm getting mauled to death by the Verdant Tribunal, so that part is really rough. Those judges are really taking it to my Broker's warband. Meanwhile, the guy who's basically winning this scenario right now is currently my friend Dark Lord Mac. He's got the most demons in base contact with the terrain piece, and at the same time, he's also sending in his Devout as well as leader demon to the flanks in order to secure them, while his Corpulent Demons basically hold the center. So at the end of turn number 2 over with, we go directly to the top of turn number 3, and all 3 of us roll our activation dice to see which of us will be going first. So that takes directly to the top of turn number 3, and these are the activation dice that each of our warbands, our cabals rather, have rolled up for this one. So you can take a look there and see exactly how it works out. So as you can see in this field, the next thing I do, of course, is I do another charging attack with Valric, my Spine Demon, directly to Durthu. Managed to bring up his grand total to 11 wounds, so that part was absolutely fantastic. Meanwhile, Dark Lord Mac then sends in some more of his corpulent demons directly to secure the base of the King in Yellow. And once again, Durthu, the End of Faith, does another charge attack going directly into Crack Marrow, which is my Tallyman, and managed to one-shot kill him at the same time slaying my Devout Demon outright. So that part was absolutely brutal. So my Devout Demon will need to roll up on the Soul Loss table to see exactly what happens to him. However, I then activate my Leader Demon. Duke Grimwatch does a charge attack directly to the back of Durthu, managed to finish that guy off. So with a shout of timber, Durthu goes crashing down the ground face first, and he is also killed now. So that part is great, and he will need to roll up on the Soul Loss table to see exactly what happens to him. Meanwhile, on the melee here in the center of the table, this is actually after several activations. What ends up happening is that Treekin managed to put 6 wounds directly onto Valric, my Spine Demon. At the same time, Kurnoth, Smells Like a Reese's Spine Demon, does finish off Grisselveld, my Slaughter Fiend, so that part was kind of tragic. Meanwhile, Dark Lord Mac now has, 6 demons? Yep, he has 6 demons directly at the base of the King in Yellow. He's got all 4 of his corpulent demons, as well as his Tomb of Fet, so that part's pretty intense. So for my next activation, I activate Knight's Herald, which is my Armored Demon. Managed to put a total of 6 wounds directly onto the Tentacle Beast, so that part was kind of nice. However, at this point in the game, that my friend Smells Like Febreze decides to surrender at this point. She's lost both her leader as well as her Devout Demon, and she doesn't want to take any more losses than she currently has. So because of that, she decides to just kind of surrender at this point and retreat her Cabal because, like I said before, she's taking a beating on this one and she wants to lose any more than she has. And I do exactly the same thing. And the reason why is because I don't have very many demons left, and the demons I do have do not have enough killing power to kill 4 corpulent demons, and there's no one going to be able to wipe those guys out. Not to mention my opponent's Leader Demon as well as the Devout Demon are still fresh, no wounds taken whatsoever. So because I decided to surrender too, because there's no way I'm going to be able to pull this victory off within 2 turns. And with that, folks, it takes us directly to the end of the game with a victory for the Demented on this one. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we're going directly to the post-game because this battle report is now officially over. Alright, so starting off with the Verdant Tribunal. For their Soul Loss, Dryka, the Regent Slayer, originally got Soul Warp, but instead of that, what ended up happening is that my friend decided to use one of her Soul Dice and managed to get a twisted result instead. So because of that, Dryka loses 1 point of her movement, but gains +1 point to her combat ability. Durthu, the End of Faith, actually rolled no effect, so he's perfectly fine. And for Spite, the Stormbreaker, for that character, she actually rolled up Gained Essence. She gained the Essence of Luck, which means that once per battle, she may replace one of her combat rolls with a 6. Now for reward, she got 12 souls for managing to secure 2 soul dice during the battle report, but other than that though, she did not get any other rewards found. For her titles, she decided not to cash any of her titles at this point, and for her advancements, Dryka, the Regent Slayer, got +1 to her movement, so she went back to her original movement allowance, and Ash, the Tentacle Beast, actually got a greater evolution and got +1 to her combat ability as well. Now for recruitment expeditions, she decided to not field none of those. Her current record now is at 1 win as well as 3 losses. Now onto my warband, the Ethereal Bank of Vykos. So for Soul Loss, originally my Tallyman Crack Marrow originally rolled Twisted, but I decided to use one of my Soul Dice in order to get a reroll, and instead I got Essence Gain, which means he got Essence of the Skirmisher, which means he gets +3 to his movement whenever he does a running skirmish, which is absolutely fantastic. As for Grisselveld, my Slaughter Fiend, and the Royal Butcher, my Tentacle Beast, both those guys roll no effects, they're perfectly fine. However, for the Duke's Harriers, my Mephet, I decided to use the Cull the Weak ability and kill that character off and take half of his soul points, is what I decided to do for that one. Now for my titles, I decided to give my Duke Grimwatch the End of Faith title, which means he gets +1 combat result against Devout Demons because he's killed a bunch of Devout Demons so far in our campaign. Now for advancements, quite a few members of my Cabal did advance. Duke Grimwatch, the End of Faith, actually got the Skirmish Spirit result, which means he also gets +3 to his movement whenever he does a running skirmish, which is absolutely fantastic. Crack Marrow, my Tallyman, got a greater evolution, so now he's a greater Tallyman. He got +1 to his life as well as +1 to his combat score. Grisselville also got a greater evolution as well, so he is now a greater corpulent demon, greater Slaughter Fiend. He got +1 to his combat result. Master Talon as well as Bellfire, both those guys became greater corpulent beasts, corpulent demons, gain +2 to their life, making 17 life apiece. And then, of course, Knight's Herald, my Armored Demon, actually got a great evolution as well, meaning that their Scaly Skin ability now may change 2 dice directly to 6, which is great because he's got the Bloodstained Gauntlet, which means he caused more damage as well. Now, as for recruitment as well as expeditions, I decided to cash in all my souls. I decided to recruit a Serpent Knight named Death and Taxes, as well as a Torture Master named Gauntfield. And both those guys are greater demons, and the reason why I'm able to do that is because my leader, Duke Grimwatch, now is at 10 experience points, so now you can start recruiting greater demons, which is absolutely fantastic. I then spent another 10 points in order for a planned expedition as well. At the same time, I forgot to mention my rewards as well. For my rewards, I actually got 2 rolls on the essence table. I ended up doing that. I got 1 roll for my normal reward, and then of course, since I used my expedition rule the other time, I got one more for my planned expedition. I got 2 essences. I got Essence of Life as well as Essence of Life for Valrique as well as for Crack Marrow, so I forgot to mention that as well. Now my crit record now is at 2 wins and 2 losses, and my grand total now is at 13 souls. And finally, for the Garden of Maladies, this is Dark Lord Max Demented Cabal. He actually suffered no soul losses, so he is perfectly fine. For his rewards, he got 6 souls from cashing in one of his soul dice that he got from the battle report, and he also got 2 rolls from the essence table for his reward. He got Cursed Touch twice, actually, which means that once per battle, he may replace 1 combat attack against his demon with a 1. He got that for Gerlach as well as Golkor. So 2 of his corpulent demons are now packing those 2 essences. He decided not to cash in any titles during this time, but for his advancements though, Garden of Maladies leveled up, earning Unyielding Essence, giving him +2 to his life. Madness is his name. The Beast Slayer evolved to a greater evolution, meaning his disorder dice now start as a 1 point. And then Golkor, Gerlach, Muttermold, and Slimex the Pacifist all got greater evolutions, and all 4 of those guys have +2 to their life now as well. For recruitment and expeditions, he decided to cash in his dice and decided to recruit a Serpent Knight named Cardinal Ruse, so he has that with his cabal. And he decided to spend 10 of his souls in order to plan for another expedition. His current record now is at 3 wins as well as 1 loss. And as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, this takes directly to the end of our campaign. As you can see, this is the rankings for all 6 of our cabals. For the Garden, the first place right now is the Garden of Maladies of the Demented, played by Verdant Dark Lord Mac. He's got 4 souls. He's also got 3 wins as well as 1 loss. In second place are the Stygian Legion of the Lords of Hell, played by my friend Big Puka. He's got 15 souls, 2 wins as well as 1 loss. In third place is my cabal, the Ethereal Bank of Vykos, my broker's cabal, and they have 13 souls, 2 wins as well as 2 losses. In fourth place are the Verdant Tribunal, the judges, played by my friend Smell Like Febreze. She's got 15 souls, 1 win, as well as 3 losses. In fifth place is All Is Dust, the Empty Cabal, played by my friend Odeth. He's got 9 souls, as well as 1 win and 2 losses. And finally, in sixth place is the Shrieking Masquerade of the Earthbound, played by my little sister Shade. She's got 1 soul, as well as 1 win and 2 losses. So right now, this is where we're kind of ending our campaign right now for our Reign in Hell campaign at this point. So From Hell right now is taking a little bit of hiatus. The reason why that is the case is because we got some things going on in the summertime that we're focusing on instead, and so we decided to move on to a different project on this one. However, this game though, just on a personal note, this game is absolutely fantastic. If you haven't got a chance yet to purchase Reign in Hell by Snarling Badges Studios, I highly recommend it. Not to mention, this game is also created by 2 members on YouTube as well, our fellow wargamers, Adam Loper of Tabletop Minions, as well as Vince Venturilla of Warhammer Weekly fame, and both those guys actually made this game. It's a very cheap game to purchase. It's a miniatures agnostic game, which means you can use any miniatures that you want to represent any of the demons that you have in your army as well. And it's a very fast-paced, brutal, and quick game. To be honest with you guys, I spend more time making the battle reports for these battles than we actually do playing it. It's very, very quick, very, very fun, unforgiving, brutal, and it's everything that demonic warfare should be in the very bowels of hell. So if you haven't done so yet, you guys, get out there, get yourself a copy, and play it, because campaign mode in this game is absolutely fantastic. So that's good for this one, you guys. As always, please feel free to like, comment, and or subscribe. Your guys' input is valuable to us as always. Also check us out on Facebook, Instagram, as well as blogger.com for all the latest, greatest hobby news related to our channel. That's good for this one, you guys. We'll catch you guys next one. Peace out and stay classy.